there were additional devices to the ones that actually did explode, and they were both either coincidentally or inadvertently disarmed by people who were trying to steal the luggage that was abandoned. First, in Chelsea, there was an additional device. According to NBC News, a man was seen leaving behind a piece of luggage before two other people came along, take out the device, take a device out of the bag, and walk away with just the suitcase.
By the way, that's New York. That's not stealing in New York. That happens all the time. You put something out in the garbage, and there are always people that will come to the garbage and say, this looks like a nice piece of luggage, and walk away with it. There's not always a bomb in it, but so when they were saying that these thieves, somebody called them thieves today. You're not a thief. It was in the garbage, and you found something in the garbage, and you walked away with it.
Yeah, nobody.
You're a New Yorker.
Yeah.
However, more explicitly, the other one in Elizabeth, New Jersey, at the train station.
That was a thief.
Two scavengers, according to CBS News, found the package while going through the trash. When pulling it apart, they found wires attached to the package. They then left the package under the train tracks and ran to a police station to report what they found. They said the reason that they picked it up was because it looked valuable. We thought there were values in it. They opened it up, they found wires, and they were like, oh, God, okay. Then they what's weird to me is they put it under like a train trestle, which is like, that's not where you want to put a bomb.
No. That's not that weird, though, because you think, okay, they're opening it up, and like, God, we really scored. What's in here, gold? And they're like, oh,
yeah,
pipe bomb.
I wonder.
I mean, where else are they going to put it?
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to carry it, right? I mean,
no,
it's a
they
bomb.
tried 1,000 feet. They said they carried it before their muscles gave out.
I'm amused by the out of nowhere characterization of 21st century human beings as scavengers. Makes them sound like they're sophomores at Furman, you know, like okay. Today's scavenger hunt. If you want to get in the frat,
or hyenas. Those are other
right.
Yeah. Also,
I mean, I've never seen scavengers that sort of you know.
Like, are they dressed as steampunk?
It's almost like they're like, we can't call people hobos anymore. You know?
There are hobos. There aren't scavengers. There really are hobos. People still ride the rails.
Right. You have You have to be riding the blinds.
Boy, well then if there really are hobos still and they're still riding the rails and this happened at a train station, they really missed their opportunity.
Or they were hobos actually.
Yeah,
These were not scavengers.
So how do you tell the police in that situation? Okay.
Yeah. Trust me, this is a big story. I'm going to need you to ignore the first part of the story, okay? Look, this is good. This is, you know, and there's also the fact that it was scavengers and people stealing something and the people taking the good suitcase in New York. And, I mean, these are very, very, very New York stories.
But so is the motive and the inciting incident that pushed this guy to do it. I mean, if you know, which is, dude, the man was against my fried chicken shack. And people were pissed off. So it must have been people discriminating against me rather than we're running a business where we're sending people to pee on the neighbors' yards.
Right. So do we believe that to be the motive?
Go into that.
Well, to go into it a little bit, I mean, they had a lawsuit against the city because apparently they're running a 24-hour fried chicken restaurant.
Yeah, it's called something like All-American Chicken.
Yeah, that's the most American thing you can do is own a fried chicken.
All-American Chicken, and they wouldn't let their customers use the bathroom. So instead, they'd be like, we have a bathroom. You're not going to use it. Go outside. And, of course, they'd go outside and they'd pee in the neighbors' yards. So the neighbors got sick of it, and they said, hey, police, you got to shut these guys down at whatever time at night. And, of course, our bomber and his family are like, this is only because we're Muslim.
Right.
Instead of, it's because we're having people pee all over the neighborhood.
Right. Yeah, so, well, that's so the good thing is he's alive. You know, so we'll be able theoretically to talk to him and interrogate him.
Which rarely happens, and I think is good.
Yeah, it is good. Yeah, of course it's good. So, you know, we'll actually have answers to questions in this case, which doesn't always happen in every other case, and making what we're about to engage in and what the media is going to engage in of how Clinton and Trump reacted to this immediately, not really relevant because we'll know more in 5 days. Although the reactions that they had is telling about the kind of people they are. What they actually said is not actually, I would argue, terribly important here on this day.
I think it also demonstrates the mindset and the skill sets of the people we're ultimately at war with, like the shoe bomber or the underwear bomber or this guy. I mean, this guy ran a chicken shack that got only 2 stars on Yelp. So are we surprised that he couldn't build a good bomb?
You get hours of more content if you're a TYT member.
Somebody go get a 6-pack.
And let's all enjoy it together. TYTnetwork.com/join.